Hi everybody, Norby Rudell here with you again. Do you ever wonder what's going on at the Rotary Club right next to yours? Well, one of the great things about RotaryTV is that when we were in the International Convention for Rotary during 2015, we interviewed a lot of the people who had terrific projects going on in their Rotary Club. It's a great way to see what they're doing, and you can do it not only on your mobile device, but you can also do it on your computer too.
Hello, I am Tim Ryan. I am here in Sao Paulo at the Rotary International Convention, and I'm here to talk to Darlene. And where are you from, Darlene?
Nigeria, Rotary Club of Port Harcourt GRA, in Port Harcourt, south of Nigeria, District 9110.
Oh, that's wonderful. You having a good time here at the conference?
Oh, sure I am.
That sounds good.
I am.
Now, how big is your club?
We used to be very big actually. But our membership dwindled from 100 to 62. And currently, I think we're like 54. We are losing members.
Well, I think that's a challenge for all of us.
Yes.
But what sort of projects do you have?
We have the Einstein program, which is a science program for secondary schools. They compete among themselves, and the best four always get a scholarship, which is sponsored by the government. Also, we have a community that we have adopted. We are trying to make boreholes for them. Now we got an idea from this conference that we can make some toilets at a very cheap rate for them. So when we get back home, we are going to try that. Also, we have some hospitals that we have donated equipment to, like X-ray equipment, blood pressure machines, We do that every year to that hospital.
That's wonderful.
Yes, we do that every year. I think this is a fantastic idea to have a TV that can promote and project all the projects of all the Rotary clubs so that people will know exactly what we are doing. And from that, we can even have ideas from other people that will help us in our own club.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And with me today is David, who's going to tell you more about his project.
David Langworthy from the Rotary Club of Endeavour Hills. I'm the chairman of Disaster Aid International, which is a global Rotary Club project. And we have gathered here today KK Louis from Malaysia, Tornos from the USA.
Hello.
Mandra DG from India, Robert Strachan from Disaster Aid UK, and Tiffany from Disaster Aid Malaysia. Disaster Aid International is a Rotary Club project that responds to disasters. Now, we're not the first responder. We go in at the time of the disaster and work with Rotary clubs, local NGOs to evaluate what's needed. So we talk to the people, what do you need? It may be tents, it may be tarps, home repair kits. But the first question is, what do you need? And then we use the resources of Rotary, our contacts, all the resources, the UN, the shelter cluster, to get those goods together and deliver to the people.
David, can you give us some examples of where you've worked and what you've done?
Currently, today, as we gather here in Sao Paulo, we have teams in Nepal who are doing an evaluation. We're currently doing rebuilding homes, transitional shelters, and they're preparing for the monsoons and going in after the monsoons. Prior to that, prior to Nepal, we worked in Vanuatu. We went in and supplied water systems. And very interesting project in Vanuatu. The people wanted help to rebuild their homes. One of our DARTS, Disaster Aid Response Team members, found a sawmill that wasn't operational. When we got the sawmill operational, employed local people, and started this sawmill operating, producing timber to rebuild homes. The problem with disasters is that they happen infrequently, so we get these spikes when the funds come in. So when we're not doing disasters, we actually install water purification systems. So we have what we call the sky hydrant, which will produce 1,000 litres of clean water, safe water per hour. KK Louis from Malaysia can talk about the sky hydrant experience in Malaysia following the floods.
Yes, I'm a past president KK Louis from the Rotary Club of USJ.
We are located near Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. I'm here as Vice Chairman of Disaster Aid Malaysia, partners with Disaster Aid International. Currently my club has a project called Learn at Rotary. It's an online learning program. With Disaster Aid Malaysia, we had some floods recently. We were able to rely on Disaster Aid International support. They sent in 2 darts to our country to help with the floods. We installed a couple of sky hydrant water filtration systems for urgent use by the affected residents. We also set up about 50-odd tents, shelters, for those who lost their homes. It was an unprecedented event in our country, really, affecting something like 200,000 folks, with high losses in terms of property, but fortunately loss of lives was very limited. But then again, we've never expected or experienced any kind of flooding of that nature in our country. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Tor Nos from Disaster Aid USA. Tor is an experienced DART, Disaster Aid Response Team member. He's been to the Sudan, the Philippines, and a number of other disaster areas. Tor, would you like to tell the audience something about your experiences as a DART?
Sure. It's always my name is Tor Knows from Playa Venice Rotary in Los Angeles, California, and I've been on several deployments. The first one being to South Sudan, where people basically had been driven out of their homes by the war. We were there to help the people get back to their locations. The villages had been burned, so in that situation we were supplying tents so that people would have a place to live while they were rebuilding the village. We were escorted by the United Nations military. Following year, I went to the Philippines in response to the typhoon, and there we went in with tents, but found out what the people really needed was building material. So instead, we used our funds to buy each family 10 pieces of corrugated metal, 4 sheets of plywood, 2x4 lumber, nails, and a hammer. So each time we go in, since we are a Rotary organization, the first thing we do is we sit down with a local Rotary club and talk to them. What do they need? What do they want? What does it take to solve their problem? So it's not like we're going with one item that we're going to solve all issues. And David talked earlier about how we facilitate it and how we try to make it customized for each individual deployment.
I think it'd be appropriate that we have talk to Robert Strachan from Disaster Aid UK and Ireland. They were the birth of this project over 40 years ago, Robert. Would you like to tell us the story of...
Okay. Disaster Aid UK and Ireland is just the latest name for what we've been doing for 40 years. 40 years ago, a Rotary club in my district, District 105, started the very first ever Rotary box scheme. It was a box filled with new and second-hand items, and we shipped 30,000 of them over 30 years all around the world to people who had been displaced by disasters. Today, it's a lot more sophisticated. Today, our equipment is modern, it's clean, and it's all new. So we've come a long way in 40 years. Right now, in the UK and Ireland, we are blessed by not being cursed by many disasters. So mainly what we do is support our other partners by raising funds so we can finance the teams that go to the other places you've been hearing about today.
David, I see you have some other folks as well.
This is DG from the Rotary Club of Navi Mumbai in India. DG is, they're setting up, the club's going through the process of setting up Disaster Aid India, and they will be our new partner in the coming months.
Hi, my name is Dharmendra Gangrade. I'm part of the Disaster Aid latest entrant in the India team. That is part of the Rotary Club of Navi Mumbai, 3140 Mumbai. India invariably has been, not only India but the subcontinent has been invariably hit by the natural disasters time and again, be it in Pakistan, India, Nepal or Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. The floods or the earthquakes or some sort of the other disasters has been always there. For us, joining hands with Disaster International is like joining hands with the worldwide community of the Rotary who come to help us during the time of disaster. We have experienced some of their help in when the flood hit the J&K, Jammu and Kashmir. It was badly hit more than 8,000 people lost their lives, and the hundreds and thousands of people lost their shelter as well. And it was not so long ago that we were hit by earthquake as well. I mean, where the epicenter was Nepal, but India also felt a lot of tremors, and then that's where the team from Disaster Aid International immediately flew into Nepal to, despite being difficult to catch flight to be landing at Kathmandu. So I mean, when disaster is not there, I feel another challenge which Disaster Aid team has taken up, which is providing safe and clean drinking water to children, which we call it as another form of disaster when there is no disaster. So in India, we feel that we'll be in a position to provide clean access to the clean and safe drinking water by installing the number of sky hydrants or the water purifying projects. So that's going to be a project wherein almost all Rotary clubs in India, which is roughly about 28 districts, will get involved. So that's one interesting project which we would be doing as a team.
David, I know you have some other people that are here that can tell us some more about their country.
Well, we have Tiffany, who is a director of Disaster Aid Malaysia. Pretty face, the best looking one in the Disaster Aid International team.
My name is Past President Tiffany Tan from the Rotary Club of Titi Wangsa, District 3300, Malaysia. One of our major project in our club is we used to work together with our sister club, our partner club in Thailand, to provide clean drinking water and also to provide toilet. So what we used to do is we used to raise fund. So the fund that we raise, we would then channel it to our partner club for them to do the necessary thing. Yep. Thank you.
David, how can I partner with you?
Well, the first thing you need to do is understand the project. It is a Rotary Club project, and our primary focus is disaster response. Now, with disaster response, we're reliant on disasters to raise funds. So our first primary area we work in is disaster response. The second area is in training. So we get trained Rotary clubs, NGOs, non-government organisations and government on disaster preparedness and disaster mitigation. And then we work on water. When there's no disasters, our dream is to give every child on this planet access to safe water. So we have a constant stream of funds coming in. Now, how do you become involved? We want Rotary clubs to support the disaster aid organisations in their own countries. If your country doesn't have a disaster aid organisation, get your club involved. It's not much work. All you really do is got to go out there, spread the word, tell people what we do and collect money. Get involved. It's a great project. Rotarians working together, we can change the world. We're Rotarians and we don't promote ourselves. We do not, that's the least important thing to us. We want to make the world a better place and we need RotaryTV to get the message out there. It's a this is from a Disaster Aid International point of view, the most important interview we've ever done. And it's great to have the opportunity of being on RotaryTV.
Thank you very much, David. Abraga.
Thank you, Tim.
And I'm here now with some exchange students from
Germany. My name is Mark Brochmann.
Denmark. My name is Jonathan Bering.
Germany. My name is Ben Thrasher.
Now can you tell us a little bit about the program and what you're involved in?
Yeah, we're from the Rotary Exchange Student Program. We decide to spend 1 year in another country, and at the same time there's another student in our family, like in my German family in Germany, there's now somebody from Sweden. And this year we make a lot of experience. We do a lot of stuff with Rotary and with Rotex, and we make a lot of experiences.
It's a really amazing experience, and we get to just have fun and enjoy a whole year without our parents, and just have fun in general.
Yeah, and we make here a lot of new friends, and I think it's a really good experience for your whole life, and yeah, it's pretty cool to have this experience.
And what have you learned in Portuguese and about Brazil?
So the first thing we all learned was the language, because we came here, we didn't speak Portuguese, like some basics, but with the time we improved our skills, and we learned and learned. At the beginning it was quite hard because you had to talk with your hands and you had to show things, but it was quite difficult at the beginning. But then we learned like to communicate with the time.
Well, definitely like a very fun experience to learn a new language in this way. Because it's not like you go to school and you have to sit down and take notes and everything. Here you have to like go into the moment and just try to speak the language without even knowing that much about it.
The people from South America are really different from the people from Europe. The culture is completely different. For me, the people here in South America, especially in Brazil, are more open than the people in Europe or in Germany now. They're more friendly for me, and yeah.
And now we have our exchange students, and we're very proud of them being part of this program of RotaryTV.
Exactly. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado. We now have a member from our own district, 6990, Mike, who's going to talk a little bit about Freeport and the issues and concerns there. Mike?
Good morning, everybody in the world of Rotary. My name is Mike Stafford, and I'm the Assistant Governor for Grand Bahama Island. Grand Bahama Island is isolated, and we have hurricanes, and when a hurricane hits, we just can't jump in the car and go up I-95 to Nebraska or Iowa. We're stuck. During 2004, we had Hurricane Francis that basically hovered over us for about 36 hours, and the island was left devastated without electricity for about 6 weeks island-wide, and without water for about 2 weeks. You know we all need water to survive. Meanwhile, during that time, a Bahamian who was a member of 7020 Club moved to Los Angeles area in the Beverly Hills Club, and their club wanted to do a project with water. So he contacted his old club, Barry Rassin, and Barry said, listen, Freeport gets wiped out all the time. They just had some major storms. And one of the issues is when we fly water in, right, food and supplies in, because of the weight of the water, we cannot carry as much baby supplies and food. So why don't we do a water project in Freeport? So what we've come up with is we had districts, 3 districts, 6990, our district, District 7020, and District 5280, which is the greater Los Angeles areas. And we have built a hurricane-proof elevated structure with a reverse osmosis plant that draws from its own well, and it makes 7,500 gallons a day. We have our own generator. We have a storage facility in the tank, in the building of 5,500 gallons. And then we have distribution systems all around the plant, inside the plant and outside the building, where members of the public can come up and get their jugs filled. We also have jugs to give them as well. Then to go out into the communities that can't really get us, we have 30 275-gallon tote tanks, and 10 of those are on trailers. So Rotarians spring into action, and they'll have these trailers in their possession before the hurricane strikes. So the moment the all clear is given by the local authorities, we hit the streets running, and we're going through the neighborhoods, parking a trailer and giving away water. We also have hurricane shelters in the Bahamas, and in Grand Bahama in particular, but there's always been the issue that there's never been enough water, not only for drinking, but for basic sanitation, like flushing toilets. So these fixed tote tanks, we will put in these hurricane shelters before the storm hits, and they'll have water for the people that actually go to the shelters. Of course, Rotary is not alone in the world in helping people, and normally what happens after a hurricane hits, our experience has been, the first people on the road doing things, and an assessment plan would be the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and Rotary. Rotary's normally out there the quickest. We also put these water tanks at the Salvation Army base, which is also giving food away from their food kitchen, and we also put these tanks at the Red Cross. We also work with a lot of, apart from the shelters, we also work with a lot of community leaders, and a lot of these are the well-known churches that we've had a relationship from the past storms, and they actually know who in the community needs the food that we're bringing in, but more importantly, our water. So the project was actually a $217,000 value project, and it's sustainable. We had a little incident with Hurricane Sandy where we were without water for about a day and a half, and we gave away about 6,000 gallons of water to people that walked up to the plant, and also at the Salvation Army, at the Red Cross, and towards the eastern end of the island.
Mike, It's an outstanding program. We certainly appreciate hearing about it, and we'll put it on the air.
Thank you
very
and
much.
once again, if you want to help us, you can email me at bahamapro@hotmail.com, or you can go to www.rotaryfreeport.com.
Hello, we now have Gabrielle here from Nepal, who's going to speak about her club.
Okay, my name is Gabrielle Malapati. I'm the current secretary of our club. I came to Nepal 8 years ago. I have been to Nepal many times, but my husband is Nepalese. I'm originally from Germany, but now we have settled and retired in Nepal. And I have worked before with the polio eradication program globally. And when I came to Nepal, it was just natural that I would join a Rotary club. And I'm very glad that I joined the Rotary Club of Patan, which is the third oldest club in Nepal. And we have very active, very engaged people in our club and plenty of projects. So we have a variety of projects. We have our own club-owned projects where we provide scholarship to over 600 students. But we select these students not on merit, but rather on deserving economic background. And we provide them with scholarships, which is a minimal scholarship, but at least it keeps them in school. We prefer girls, but we also provide it to boys. And our members all go out every year and distribute the scholarships to the 600 students by themselves.
Obviously, we are concerned about the earthquake that just happened. How are you participating in that?
Right. So I just told you about our club-owned projects, but we have many other projects, also global grants. And of course, when the earthquake happened, our club, who is very active, we immediately sprang into action. And what we have been doing since, immediately after the earthquake, actually on the second day, our members went out to the community in the area where we live. Kathmandu, Patan and Bhaktapur are the three cities in Kathmandu. And what we did is we immediately distributed relief supplies, food, tarpaulins so that they could have a roof under their head again, and some blankets. Thereafter, we started through our Facebook page a global fundraising campaign, and we have been rather successful, mainly through our members, their families, and friends, Rotarians globally around the world. We are now looking what to do with the funds that we have raised for the reconstruction and long-term support to the people, because the immediate relief effort has stopped already after 1 week, and now we're really looking into what is most needed to support the communities, and we have prioritized it in several areas. Number one, of course, would be shelter. Everybody needs again a roof under their head, but Nepalese are very good at managing their lives, so they have already started building their own shelters, at least for temporary. And then we are looking at water and sanitation, and probably also economic development. So we want to again get the people back onto their feet so that they have income generating activities. So that's what we are basically looking at.
Gabrielle, I'm very proud to have met you here. I want to thank you very much for sharing your story with us, and we'll share it with the world through Rotary TV.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Today we're very pleased to have our governor from 6990, Joe Roth, who's here to talk about his governorship and what's been going on. Joe?
Well, thank you, Tim. So pleased to be here in Sao Paulo for this great international convention. It's fantastic to be here with Rotarians from around the world, and it's especially fantastic to have Tim here from the Rotary Club of Miami, the incoming president. Our Rotary year this past year has been a really good one in 6990. I've kind of gathered myself and surrounded myself with my troops in the district around one single word, and that's passion. We have strived to make our Rotarians more passionate, and it really has brought out the very best in close to 2,000 Rotarians in our district. We've had a phenomenal year, not only in the events, but also in growing our district. We're a positive membership growth, and we've had a phenomenal year in foundation. So overall, it's been a phenomenal year for me. I personally one of the best years of my life, aside from the year that I got married and the year that I had my only son. But as district governor this year, it has been a tremendous experience, one that I will treasure and remember for the rest of my life.
Joe, one of the things is important about coming to the convention itself. Can you tell us a little about your experience here and why it's important?
Well, it is very important, Tim. This is my 8th international convention. I've experienced so many different cultures, and a typical example of being at so many of these conventions is what my wife said to me a very, very short while ago. She says, let's see if we can walk 100 steps without you stopping and saying hello to somebody. Well, it's almost impossible because you do have a chance to meet people that you've met throughout the years, people throughout the world, and have opportunities to connect and reconnect and strengthen the friendships and do some incredible things here in Sao Paulo because of the people that you know. We've had two or three great experiences here in the last couple of days. We had a former group study exchange student from Sao Paulo that came to our district in 2003, and she took us to her club, and we enjoyed some of the friendship and fellowship of Sao Paulo Rotarians. And last night had the opportunity of spending time with the Rotary Club of Sao Paulo Libertad, which is a club that is in the Japanese area of Sao Paulo, and they ran their meeting yesterday because they had guests from all around the world in 3 languages, in English and Portuguese and Japanese. So these are some of the experiences that it would be impossible to have if you were not involved in Rotary and you came to these conventions. So if you're thinking about coming to a future convention, don't think about it any longer. Register next year. It's going to be in South Korea, in Seoul. It promises to be an incredible experience. And then the following year, much closer to our home here in 6990, and that's going to be the convention in Atlanta. And we're hoping to get busfuls of people from 6990 up to Atlanta in 2016-17.
By the way, Joe, one of the things that RotaryTV has been able to do is put your barbecue on TV. What does that feel like?
Well, it's we have a fantastic membership in our district, and we brought them together in creating a Rotary Day this year, where we had a great barbecue in the Miami area, over 250 people, tremendous amount of food, great fellowship, and I'm glad to have this venue, this RotaryTV, and I understand it's really gone viral. So thank you to J.R. Almeida, our producer, director, videographer, for doing that for our district and for the Rotary world. We hope you enjoy that video, and we hope that you would take advantage of watching RotaryTV more often and seeing all the great things that are going to be on there.
Thanks again, Joe.
Thank you.
We now have another person from Rotary International. Bruce, tell us about your story.
Well, basically, I'm a Rotarian from Allen, Texas. I volunteered for Shelter Box, which is a Rotary founded project from 15 years ago that responds to disasters around the world to help families that have lost everything. I'm a Shelter Box response team member that responds to the disasters so that we make sure that the families that need the aid actually get the aid. We respond in a number of different ways with a complete shelter box and also repair kits and tents, customizing our response to what the families actually need, really to help them restart their lives.
Bruce, how do people contact you? What sort of way do they make contact?
Well, there's a number of different ways. We have a website, shelterboxusa.org, where they can go online and find out more about what we do and contact us that way. Or they can contact Shelter Box USA office in Florida or the Shelter Box office in England, both with contact information available on the websites.
How can Rotary, Bruce, can you tell us how we contact you?
Yes, there are several ways you can contact Shelter Box. ShelterboxUSA.org is our website in the U.S. and ShelterBox.org is for Shelter Box Worldwide in England. There's phone numbers on both of those websites that you can contact the Shelter Box offices directly.
Bruce, how can RotaryTV help you?
Well, we're always looking to get our word out on what we're doing. We're 15 years old, but we're still the best kept secret out there as far as how we and Rotary team together to help disaster victims around the world. So RotaryTV can help by reaching that new generation of Rotarians that we're all trying to bring into Rotary and into our membership and show them what Rotarians do through Shelter Box to help families around the world.
I have the pleasure right now of introducing a gemologist who is a person from Brazil who's going to tell us about her story. Lydia?
Hi. Hi, Tim. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you, with people from Rotary, and to meet everybody from all the world, people who likes to give the time, our time, because I think today the time of our lives is the thing more expensive we have. And the way we have to get the world better is working for make lives better, from children to old people. And I am a gemologist. My company has 100 years, and I learned with my parents and my grandparents to be a good person. And Rotary is this. Rotary is, if you want to be good people, you have to help everybody before. And that's why I'm here.
Tell me about your connection to Rotary.
Okay, I have very good customers. They are very important people, very good people. I work at the same company, shop that my father led to me. We work with good stones, and my father used to study at Gemological Institute of America. So we have the same families that buys from us, and they are family, very, very good family in Brazil, in São Paulo. So there is one of them, Gino Samaya, that introduced me to Rotary. I love them. It's a wonderful family. They belong to a pharmacy group, and they have I don't know how to say in English. I'm sorry, people. I am Brazilian. I'm trying to do my best.
It's okay.
It's called Cruz de Malta Association. It has 30 years, and they help 1,000 people every day with food, with health, education. They are wonderful. So I am always learning with people better than me how to be helpful people. Private people here in Brazil are very important to help, like Rotary. So Rotary is very important in Brazil. So as Rotary is very important in poor countries all in the world, because we need you, we need Rotary.
One of the things that you've told me about is that your company is concerned about children and working. How do you participate in that?
The way I found to be a serious company is to work with good merchandise. So I search where I buy, through who I buy, how I buy. I take care of this because I don't like slave merchandise. I don't like to buy blood diamonds and stones, dangerous stones. I think every company needs to take care of this because we need to take care of our business. If all executives take care of your small company, the world will be better.
Lydia, it's a pleasure to be talking to you. We will put your story out on RotaryTV, and the world will know. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
We have the honor and the privilege today to have the president of FESPA with us, Jose Luis. Tell us a little bit about it. What is FESPA?
Boa tarde. É uma alegria estar aqui nesta feira maravilhosa internacional do Rotary e falar um pouco rapidamente o que é a FESESP. É uma federação de serviços do estado de São Paulo. Congrega 41 sindicatos de serviços, especializados em serviços. Ela tem 20 anos de trabalho e a federação, na minha pessoa como presidente, a gente coordena todos os sindicatos, esses 41 sindicatos, especializados em serviços, ajudando-os, dando serviços, principalmente influindo no governo algumas modificações de interesse do mercado de São Paulo de serviços.
Jose, can you tell us how many members you have and how many companies it involves?
Não, são 250 mil pessoas, firmas pertencentes aos sindicatos da federação. E employees, empregados nessas firmas, 1 milhão, aproximadamente 900 a 1 milhão de pessoas pertencentes a esses sindicatos que pertencem à Federação de Serviços, só o Estado de São Paulo. Mais adiante, nós fundamos a Confederação Nacional de Serviços, que é uma confederação a nível federal, a nível Brasil, que congrega os 27 estados brasileiros. São Paulo faz parte da federação e é fundador da confederação. Agora, o número, eu vou dizer um outro número, 70% do PIB brasileiro é serviços, Brian. 70% do PIB brasileiro é serviço.
Jose, you are the 250,000 companies that are involved. What does that involve?
Principalmente são as firmas para dar um exemplo, de limpeza, de segurança, de limpeza de urbanismo, limpeza pública, parte de TI, toda a parte de TI, computadores, isso é importantíssimo, corretores de seguro, vendedores de planos de saúde. Aqui no Brasil tem uma diferença, tem os corretores e tem os planos de saúde. PET. Um exemplo de PET. A preparação do cachorro, cortar o pelinho, isso é um serviço. Afiliado. O que vocês imaginarem de serviço pertence à Federação de Serviços. Não pertence. Transporte, saúde e a parte de bancos, que tem o próprio sindicato e a Federação dos Bancos.
Jose, what do you think about this convention?
Como eu comecei com uma alegria e continuo alegre de estar aqui, porque inclusive nós ajudamos, patrocinamos FESESP, a Confederação Nacional de Serviço, porque isso daqui não deixa de ser serviço. E essa é a segunda-feira feita aqui em São Paulo, no Brasil, aqui na capital de São Paulo, e eu estou maravilhado com a quantidade de stands, com a quantidade de pessoas. Hoje é o último dia, né? E realmente, com uma feira dessa que congrega 210 Rotaries, concentrado tudo aqui, e conseguir uma procura de pessoas, aproximadamente de 15 mil pessoas, nesses 4 dias de feira. Isso é espetacular. E a gente fica muito feliz de ser brasileiro e de estar aqui recebendo essas 210 Rotary numa feira desse tipo.
Jose, it's an absolute pleasure and honor to have you here. Thank you so very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.